Moving into the 2010 Olympics, the year before, I knew I needed to find that connection of racing at home, of being in Canada, as Canada, for Canada. I remember thinking it's going to be so nerve-wracking, and everybody, everywhere I went, was asking me about the Olympics. Are you going to defend your gold medal? Because I was the defending champion this time. I had also been sick, I had also been injured, and I actually was kind of a little bit too old at 37. And I remember thinking, how am I going to do this? And I made the connection with the 4 host First Nations, the nations whose territorial land were welcoming the world in those games, in our games. The Squamish, the Tsleil-Waututh, the Musqueam, and the Lil'wat nations. I made that connection with them and skated with their kids at the Oval in Richmond, participated in community events, and gained a friendship that grounded me into that space and place that was going to begin our games together. When I learned I was flag bearer the week before the games and I couldn't tell anyone, I was so nervous, and we did a press conference and I was asked all these questions I didn't know how to answer, and I was worried because I had my first race 36 hours after walking into BC Place holding our flag. And my friends from the Squamish Nation invited me in to their community, saying, we have something to offer you as our friend. And this was a continuation of the healing path, of this incredible privilege of traditional healing. They offered me ceremony, and with permission, I'm going to share it with you. They offered me a brushing off ceremony. They said they had put every nation member through it to open their hearts and open their mind to the possibilities that laid ahead in the Olympics. So as my competitors narrowed their focus and friends turned into foes and everyone was all about the Olympics and trying to win that first gold medal for Canada or their respective nation, I made my way to the north shore of Vancouver and the Squamish First Nation land. I walked into the Joseph family home and I walked into this feeling of love and acceptance, this feeling of possibility. Dennis Joseph, whose Squamish name is Quitchtal, which is serpent slayer, he put me through the ceremony. As I sat in the middle of the room, I listened to his words and his language and the drum and the song, and then he spoke to me clearly, looking at me in my eyes and said, Clara, you cannot want this only for yourself. That's not how we do things. That's not how our ancestors did things. We do things together. And he said, as a competitor, you have to want everyone around you to be great, to be successful, to win that medal, and maybe even beat you. You can only want that for yourself when you want it from your heart for everyone around you. And then he looked around the room with my coach and my husband, my support staff, and he said, this is your circle of strength. He talked to me about that circle of strength and that nothing is done alone. And he said, we are here to keep you in the moment, the beautiful moment, every step and stride of the way. 36 hours later, after those opening ceremonies, when I walked in carrying that beautiful red on white, our maple leaf, carrying it, fluttering in that full winter wonderland of the covered dome of BC Place, it was like the most beautiful maple leaf had fallen into my hands, into our hands on a fall day. And it was floating and fluttering for the world to see. After I walked in and I walked into a sea of youth dancing from all across Turtle Island and the Métis homeland and Inuit Nunangat, sharing their culture and their song and their story, their dance and their drum. I remember feeling the beat of that drum and remembering the lesson that it was the heartbeat of Mother Earth. And I carried that beat out of those opening ceremonies into that first race and skated the best 3,000 meters of my life. And I took my skates off, went to the infield, and cheered my lungs out for my teammate and friend, Christina Groves, who proceeded to knock me off the podium. I was in third, and I really, really wanted her to be great. We celebrated with a hug that won the hug of the Olympics, and people connected to that idea of wanting someone and each other to be good and fast and successful. I remember watching the gold rush of Team Canada after Christina's first medal for our team. John Montgomery in his walk of fame, grabbing the pitcher of beer, chugging it on cue up in Whistler. I remember watching Kaylee Humphries win gold, gold upon gold upon gold. And then finally, the night before my race, my last time on those long blades, my 5,000 meters, I remember turning on the TV for some Olympic magic and turning on Joanie Rochette's short program. Joanie Rochette, for those who remember, beautiful figure skater, the young woman who had lost her mom days before to cardiac arrest when her mom got to Vancouver to see her little girl skate. I remember watching, and it was as if Canada collectively held their breath for her, for those few minutes, just hoping that nothing went really, really wrong. Joanie proceeded to skate the competition and the performance of her life. When I saw Joanie do that, I knew that anything was possible. She said she did it for Maman. She did it for her mom. And I remember thinking, when I go to the ice tomorrow, who and what am I doing this for? My teammates showed me what was possible. And when I stepped on that line, I remember taking my last deep breath as a speed skater, as my coach Julie always told me to do. Taking that breath, opening my heart, opening my mind, and thinking, you will never be here again. And I remember feeling this calm I had never experienced. And I had a sense that I had never experienced before either. I wanted to win. I wanted everyone to win, but I didn't need it. For the first time in my life, I did not need another Olympic medal to know who I was. And it was because of the path I had walked